We want to take a look now at the driving force behind the 2016 campaign, money. Friday, the super PACs, those political action committees full of cash, filed their first reports. Taken together with the reports filed by the individual candidates, they provide the first look at who is paying for the campaign. Jeb Bush is at the head of the Republican PAC. His combined totals are nearly $120 million, followed by Ted Cruz with $53 million. Marco Rubio at $26 million and Scott Walker with $20 million. Hillary Clinton has raised $69 million. Super PAC donations are unlimited and mostly unregulated. So far, 61 people and entities have given more than $1 million to the super PACs, which are on tap to flood the airways with ads, most of them negative, and finance turnout the vote operations. The trend is clear. Wealthy donors are gaining more and more influence over the campaign process. Case in point, a handful of Republican candidates this week are all in California meeting with the Charles and David Koch brothers, huge backers of Republicans, to make their case and hopefully plug into their network, which has promised to spend $900 million on the candidate of their choice. In a recent New York Times CBS News poll, 84% of the country said that they believed money had too much influence in American political campaigns. 66% said that the wealthy have a greater chance to influence elections than other Americans. Joining us now to discuss the role of money in campaign 2016, former FEC Commissioner, a Republican appointee, Trevor Potter. He is now president of the watchdog group, the Campaign Legal Center. Matea Gold covers campaign money for the Washington Post. Stephen Law is the head of American Crossroads, which is a conservative political action committee. And CBS News correspondent Julianna Goldman, who covers money for us. Welcome to all of you. Julianna, I want to start with you. Every campaign we learn that more money was spent than the campaign before. That's likely to be happening again this time. But what's different?
There are really three differences here from cycles past. One is the evolution of super PACs and how campaigns and super PACs have figured out ways of working closely together without coordinating. And then they've been able to do that, and this gets to number two, because the FEC, which is supposed to police the way money is spent, is essentially toothless and dysfunctional and can't police the money that's being spent this year. And then you also have the dark money, the money that's not disclosed, that's being given to nonprofits. And we're going to be seeing more dark money this cycle. And nearly every individual candidate has a nonprofit that is associated with them. And that's what's very different this cycle.
So, Matea, we have two different animals on the Serengeti here. We have the super PAC and what people call dark money. Can you help us understand or remember the distinctions and difference between those two?
Sure, and just to step back, I think it's important to remember we actually have now two systems of political finance in our country. We have the regulated system in which candidates and parties can raise limited amounts of money that is disclosed, and then we have this growing universe of vast, unlimited contributions, often secret donations. So super PACs have to disclose all their donors. Nonprofits cannot be focused exclusively on politics, and they can keep their donors a secret. And both of those entities are now supporting all the presidential candidates in various ways, or nearly all of them. And what we're seeing, I think, in this cycle, which is so different than in cycles past, is that this universe of unlimited money is now starting to overtake the universe of regulated money.
So, Trevor, you've been worried about campaign finance for a long time, trying to fix the system. What worries you about the current state of things?
I think it's the potential for corruption, the appearance of corruption that the Supreme Court mentioned in the post-Watergate period when we first had these rules. Matea talks of two systems. I think the problem is the two systems have essentially merged. You have these enormous sums of money being raised by supposedly outside groups that are not outside in anyone's imagination.
And you mean outside, meaning outside of the candidate?
Right.
Okay.
So the legal limit you can give to a candidate is $2,700. And yet, for almost all of the presidential candidates, you see that there are groups that they have helped create, that their aides are running, that have raised many times what the campaigns have raised themselves. So that you'll see a report saying that a candidate raised, Jeb Bush, $100 million. Well, they're really talking about the super PAC, which has contributions of over $1 million. And where I think that leads is that average citizens look at this and say, well, this is a game for billionaires. It's one billionaire talking to another billionaire. Where do I fit into this?